morning. I want to show you really quickly how to make NoodleTools note cards. I'm going to show you this in class today, but I also want to make sure that you can come back to this video if you have questions later about how to make one. So this is my NoodleTools dashboard, it's my project page. I have to first open my project. Okay, so I'm going to open this just like that. It's going to bring me to my dashboard. Okay, you at this point should have 6 different sources here. This is really important that you have these in NoodleTools because it's going to help you with the note card process. For the sake of just showing you, I have one article in my sources that I'm going to use to make a note card. So I pretended that I was writing a paper about the effectiveness of homework. I got this article from InfoOhio. It's from USA Today. It was published in 2018, so relatively current, called Homework as a Tool for Long-Term Success. So that's my article. I actually have that pulled up here on a different tab. Okay, so my article is here. Pulled that from that folder where I saved everything in my Google Drive. Now, our next step is we're going to make some note cards that is going to help us kind of chunk some of this information, organize it, and really figure out what are the things that we can use in our paper. So you should see a screen like this when you go to the note cards tab. It's a little strange looking, but I'm going to teach you how to navigate it and so that you're really familiar with it. So over here, we always have our green button for the new things. So I'm going to click New Note Card. And kind of a fake digital note card pops up. It's pretty awesome. The purpose of this note card is to help you pull specific quotes and information from each text. And then later you can organize it and drag it and drop it into an outline to really help you structure your paper before you start writing. This is way easier than having a huge stack of all of your sources that you have to continually rifle through and try to find that thing that you highlighted somewhere and you're not sure where it went or where it goes. This kind of helps you organize and stay organized throughout the research process. So you'll see there are a couple different areas here. We've got a title. This is where you just are going to title your note card with a few keywords that helps you remember what the content of the card is about. A place to select a source, direct quotation box, a paraphrase box, and a My Ideas box. Down here, we also have something called tags, which I'll explain to you in just a second. So let's say I'm reading my article about homework being a tool for long-term success, and I come across this right here. On average, high school students report spending less than an hour a day on homework, and only 42% say they do so 5 days per week. Okay, I know that y'all are going to contest that. However, that is what the article says. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy that because it's a digital article. If the other option would be to type it. And I'm going to go here to this direct quotation box, and I'm going to actually just paste it right in. Now, it kind of messes with the formatting a little bit because I am copying it from a PDF. So I always just like to make sure the formatting is back to normal because that's going to help me later. It's a quotation, so I'm putting quotes around it. This is what is actually from the article. Now, I want to make sure I have it linked to the right article that I got from the right spot. So I'm going to go up here where it says source, and I'm going to actually select the source that I used. Okay, in this case, I just have one. You'll have at least 6 to choose from. So this helps you remember and keep track of where your information came from, which will help you when you have to do some in-text citations. Okay, so I have my statistic here from my article. Now, this is the direct quotation, but over here is a chance for me to paraphrase it or summarize it and put it in my own words because we don't want our whole paper to be made up of just quotes, right? Sometimes you can summarize what the article has said. You still need to give credit to where it's from, though, which is why the note card is important. So I'm going to kind of summarize this in my own words. So on average, students really don't spend that much time doing homework, according to this article. Okay, don't come hunt me down. So later, when I go to actually write, I'm going to have these 2 options here. I could use my paraphrase or I could use the direct quotation, but now I have both options. I've kind of done the legwork already. Down here in this box for My Ideas, this is just a space for you to kind of record maybe an idea that you had of, oh, I think this will go really well in this section of my paper. I think this will be a really good defense for this point that I'm trying to make. A lot of times, I know that I will have a thought, and if I do not write it down, it is gone. It's just gone. So this is your space to keep track of those things. If you have a thought about it, put it here so that you don't lose that later. Okay, so for example, I might say, this will work well in the section about how much homework students actually have. Okay, so maybe that's going to be a part of my paper. I'm trying to prove, hey, students actually just do this much amount of homework, or maybe I'm trying to say they do a lot of homework. But either way, that's going to go into that section of my paper. Now, that's where tags come in. Tags is another way of grouping the information, not by source. So right now, all of the note cards that you make that are tagged with this source will kind of be grouped together. You could look at all of the note cards for that specific source in one spot. But if you want to look at all of the note cards that you've made around one topic, like let's say I'm talking about average time spent on homework, but I have statistics about that from 4 different articles, I can tag them with the same thing so that they're all grouped together later. So for example, here, I'm going to say that this tag is, I'm just going to say average time. The one tricky thing with the tags is that if you have more than one word, you need to put it in quotation marks. Okay, it's just a little formatting thing. If you put it in quotation marks, it'll work. If you just have one word, that's fine too. I could just do time here. But I'm going to do average time, make it 2 words, and then I'm going to save my note card. Oh, I forgot one thing. I need to title my note card so that I remember what it is about. Guys, if you do not title it, and I have seen people do this for years, they have 50 note cards that all say Untitled 1, and then they have to walk through all of them and try to find the note card that they need, and that's a waste of your time. So I'm just going to say 42%. I'm going to say hour per day. Okay. That's going to be my kind of clue to me that, oh, this note card is about how people only do homework on average for an hour per day. Then I'm going to save it. Okay. And now I have this lovely note card here. Okay. When I open it back up, I've got all of this information right here that I can use later in my paper. Okay. Now, eventually I will show you how you can drag these into subtopics over here as you organize your paper. But for now, your focus is to gather that information and try to group it in ways that make sense to you. Okay. That's going to help you form your subtopics of your paper, kind of as you see what information is out there. You are doing 30 note cards total. Okay. So when I log into your NoodleTools, when your note cards are due, I should see that you have 30 unique note cards. Okay. This little guy over here, I made a practice note card earlier. You can drag it around so you can see where the different note cards are, because eventually you might have note cards all around up in here. Okay. So that's just to help you kind of figure this out. If you are don't get a chance to do the walkthrough in class, or you get confused or you don't remember, you can come back and watch this video. All right, guys. Thank you.